Yeah, now it's clear.
Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome and good evening to all. Uh, so, today we are talking about Aftercare Road of Recovery. My name is Shruti and I'm an intern here at Atha. So, how are you all doing? Okay. So, before we start on the topic, I'll just quickly tell you about Atha. So, focuses on psychotherapy and hi, good evening. It focuses on psychotherapy, creating workshops, and building mental health content as well. And it's a pioneer in Indian psychology as well. Um, so Atha was founded by Asira ma'am. Asira ma'am has a clinical psychology degree from SNDT University in Mumbai, and she's also an associate and uh, sorry, she's also an associate and trainer in REBT from Albert Ellis Institute in New York, and she has also been certified in CBT from Aaron Beck Institute in US. Um, and she is also a guest lecturer in St. Xavier's and Swami Vivekananda College in Mumbai. So, this is like a short introduction. Now, I'll just pass it over to my colleague Zina, and she'll talk about the topic.
Thank you so much, Shruti. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the session. Today, the three of us interns at Atha, that is Mandira, Shruti, and myself, Zena, are going to share our personal reflections on the topic suicide aftercare. We have chosen this topic as you all know, September is the Suicide Prevention Month. Also, please note that this webinar is solely for discussion purposes only and shouldn't be taken as a treatment model. If you want to know more about aftercare, then do contact a mental health professional. Okay, so I would start with my topic. So the first thing would be tell me, why do you think people commit suicide? Please let me know in the comments. Yes, depression is a major factor. Yes, unable to cope with problems, I agree. Okay, so suicide often stems from a deep feeling of helplessness, the inability to see solutions to problems or cope with challenging life circumstances may lead people to think that this is the only way to escape the situation. A number of factors contribute to suicide, such as family problems, illnesses, drug abuse, bankruptcy, love affairs, and many more. Now, people usually think that suicidal thinking implies a loss of touch with reality, a deep rooted unconscious conflict, or even a personality disorder. However, having suicidal thoughts generally reflects a narrowing of the amount of option that the people has to get over the situation. That is, they are discouraged by their problems and see no other way out of it. Stress is also one of a major risk factor for suicide. So people often engage in a suicidal behavior when they go through highly stressful events such as death of a loved one, death of a close friend, even a relative, or a divorce or a separation. Unemployment is also linked to higher risks of suicide. People who consider suicide in times of stress may lack problem solving skills and may unable to find ways of coping with stressors. A few people have commented substance abuse. Yeah, it's also a risk factor for suicide. Problems which they are not able to find solutions of. Pressure, exactly. So now let's move on to our main topic, that is suicide aftercare. So what do you all think about suicide aftercare? What are your views on it? Yeah, exactly. It's care for the survivor. So, aftercare is basically the support provided to prevent future suicidal behavior during the critical period immediately following an attempt. Now, it is designed to increase the access to and the engagement with the care providers in order to prevent repetition of suicidal behavior or self harm. Now, providing supportive and effective care during this period is of high priority. The group which is at highest risk for suicidal behavior are those who are previously attempted suicide and survived. And this risk is particularly heightened in the first 6 months following a suicide attempt. Suicide aftercare has treatments which can include individual therapy, family therapy, group therapy, medications, support group, peer group, and many more. Now let's move on to one of the critical points in aftercare, that is what to do immediately after a suicide attempt. Now I'm going to be briefing you all with 8 to 9 points regarding the ways to deal with a suicide attempt. So the first one being the most important, that is to call the emergency services. Of course. Now, if the situation is critical and life threatening, then contact the emergency services immediately to ensure that the person receives proper medical attention. The second would be to stay with the person. Now, if it is safe to do so, then try staying with the individual so that they get a form of emotional support that can help them prevent any further self harm. Third, listen and be non-judgmental. Now, people who have committed or attempted suicide, they often need a person that can provide them with a safe space and a non-judgmental space where they can let out their feelings and emotions. So encourage them to talk about their feelings and thoughts. Listen without judgment and try to empathize with their pain. Fourth, remove any dangerous items. Now, if there are any objects or surroundings that could be used for self harm nearby, then make sure to remove them from the person's reach. Fifth, don't leave them alone. Now, it is essential to be with the person until professional help arrives. As you know, the human mind is very complex. Now, suicidal thoughts can be really very unpredictable at such times. So, to ensure safety, try staying with them. Sixth, follow medical advice. Now, if a person receives medical treatment, make sure that they follow the advice and the treatment plan provided by the healthcare professionals. Seventh, contact the mental health professional. Now, after immediate crisis is under control, then seek help from a mental health professional, such as a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a counselor who specializes in suicidal ideation and mental health problems. Eighth, eighth, contact friends and family. Now, reach out to a person's friends and family in order to let them know about the situation. However, in some cases, um, reaching out to friends and family can be very hard on the client, as sometimes the advice given by them can be counterproductive. So it gets hard for the client. They don't have the energy to listen to their advice anymore. Then ninth one, which is the most important, is confidentiality after a suicide attempt. Now, all mental health professionals, they are legally required to maintain their patients' confidentiality, but there are some exceptions. Now, confidentiality may be breached at times because clients' mental health is more important. Now, if the situation gets critical, then it is necessary for the mental health professional to inform a few of the client's friends and family. And it is also equally necessary for the professional to take consent from the client, whether they are comfortable in sharing the information with their close ones. Okay, so these were some of the points regarding what to do immediately after an attempt. Leon has commented it's needed to prevent another attempt. Remove harmful things from the environment. Yes, exactly. Removing harmful things from the environment. As you know, in the surroundings, there are a lot of things. You might not know what could provoke the person to engage in self harm. So it is necessary to cancel out all the things. Okay, so I'm done with my topic here. If you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to put them in the chat box. I'm here to answer them.
Okay, everybody. Now let's talk about the first few days after an attempt and what it looks like. So, here are some pointers that I've come up with to keep in mind if you're in the same position. First is let other people assist you whenever possible. Have a support group that you can rely on and update your support group from time to time. Make sure that even they consciously take updates from you. Give them updates on weekly basis so they can try their best to help you. Next is if you live alone, ask somebody, your closed ones, to come live with you till things settle down, or preferably you go and stay with them. Staying alone in this situation can be harmful. Next is follow the advice given by your doctors or any mental health profession. Professional and take medications if prescribed. Do not skip on it as it can be detrimental. Next is try establishing a routine between your sleeping, eating, eating habits, and exercise. Having a routine can really help you make progress. Then, of course, keep updates mentioned that removing sharp objects, suppose knife, those can be harmful. Then, of course, keep the use of alcohol and drugs to a minimum and preferably just avoid it completely. It can make you feel worse and it can impair your judgment. Acknowledge them, respect them. Although you may not be in a space to talk to, just let them know that you will talk to them whenever you feel like it. I have thought about a action plan. Okay, so I will tell you all about the action plan that I have created, and then you can comment down anything that comes up in your mind. So, first thing is recognizing your warning signs. For example, if you are feeling overwhelmed or you're skipping on your meals, that is a warning sign. Then make sure your surroundings are safe. Remove any harmful. Okay, I will start over again. I think there was some issue with the signal. So, yeah, sure. So, I have come up with a little action plan that can be helpful for anybody who's going through a similar situation. Uh, and these action plans include some points that can be helpful for you. And if you have any other point besides what I'm saying, you can drop down in the comment section. First, recognizing your warning signs. First, know that recognize your warning signs, such as if you're skipping meals, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you do not want to attend social gatherings, those are warning signs. Then make your surroundings safe. Remove any harmful objects that are in your surroundings. Then remind yourself of reasons to live and consciously do so. I think consciously reminding yourselves of reasons to live can be really helpful. Then find things that make you feel strong and give you a sense of empowerment. Then connect with people and places that make you feel good. This can also add up to a reason for you to live. And of course, get professional help and professional support. Talk to a counselor or a therapist. Now, if any one of you have any other points in this, you can write it down in the comment section. Okay, does Zina or Shruti have anything to add up to this?
Yes, actually, regarding the warning signs of suicide, I think also when the person tries to isolate themselves, like social isolation, can also be one of the signs.
Yeah, I agree completely. That can be a big warning sign for a person and to recognize it. Okay, if you have any other questions or any other comment to pass on, you can put it in the comment section.
Yeah, okay. So I'll continue with what Mandira has said. Uh, so, there are some other ways through which you can help a loved one take care of themselves after an attempt. And one is you can support their plans, like if they have a recovery plan in mind, or even if they're open about whatever they're feeling and if they're accepting of it, you can also encourage responsibility. responsibility in the sense that you can encourage them to uh, take care of themselves in small little ways, do things that they've always done, that they are comfortable doing at this point of time. So encouraging them to take responsibility of themselves by committing small acts, and also identifying the triggers, as in the uh, what are the triggers that the patient has, and what are the negative thoughts that the patient has after the trigger. So and having a strong support network, that is having a support of family and friends for the patient is also important, because uh, it's a way to rely more on other people and be more comfortable integrating back into the society. uh, and For the caregiver also, you can take help from others, like you can ask your other family members and friends to help you in whatever way that they can. And also practice some relaxation techniques, like in mindfulness we have grounding techniques, or deep breathing, or body scanning, or body awareness. So these are all a few ways that the patient can relax a bit more. And also definitely professional help is a big step. So encouraging the patient to talk to a mental health professional, going with them if necessary, ensuring that they have the support when they are seeing a doctor or the mental health professional. uh, yeah, yeah, so I can see some of the comments here. Yeah, get therapy notes from your counselor to read. Yeah, repeating the helpful beliefs and statements, or making a list of affirmations that could help. Yeah, making a list of triggers and avoiding them. Yeah, yeah, reminding oneself about achieve those goals. So this serves as a reinforcer about to remind themselves that while life is precious. Yeah, it's also important for caregivers to have some sort of a self care to avoid burnout. That's absolutely true. Um, right. So, uh, the other topic that I'm going to touch upon is how can we maintain confidentiality after an attempt, confidentiality of the patient after an attempt. So, the patient has a right to privacy and confidentiality, and the doctors and other mental health professionals that are treating the patient uh, would also maintain confidentiality, right? And would not reveal any information that the patient is not comfortable talking about in the presence of other people. So maybe letting the doctor know as a caregiver beforehand that the patient is not comfortable talking about this in front of others can be a bit of an bit helpful. So yeah, so uh, confidentiality is usually maintained by doctors and mental health professionals that are involved in treating the patient. But at the same time, there can be a few exceptions where the confidentiality has to be breached. Uh, like if the doctor, mental health professional feel that there might be a risk to self or risk to others in this scenario, with the consent of the patient, of course, they would reveal it to the family members or immediate caregivers. And sometimes it's uh, it's important to reveal some personal information to uh, consult another healthcare professional to aid the treatment. So in that case is also some confidentiality can be breached, and sometimes the doctors are legally required to reveal some of the information. So in that case also confidentiality can be breached. Right. So I'll just go through some of the comments. Yeah, spiritual therapy. Yeah, like meditation and all also can help sometimes. Yeah, emergency numbers. Yeah, yeah. Having an keeping emergency numbers handy. Yeah, would also be helpful. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, do you have anything to add or any thoughts about this? Yeah. All right. It's important for caregivers also to find that hope and motivation to keep on going. So, just have a couple of quotes handy that I'll just read it out. Um, so this is a quote by Jim Rohn. It says that happiness is not by chance but by choice. And there's another quote by Michael Altshuler. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It says the bad news is time flies, and good news is you're the pilot. And Albert Einstein, I think this quote is pretty famous. Like in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. And he also and Abraham Lincoln also said that in the end, it's not the years in your life that count; it's the life in your years that count. Uh, and about the present moment, there's an interesting quote here by in Vaji. Neither past nor future. Life is the present moment, so live it to the fullest. So these are just some quotes to create hope and uh, keep the motivation going for the caregiver, because as someone mentioned in the comments, it's also sometimes the caregivers also can go through burnout. So yeah. And also like again as mentioned in the comments, like keeping a list of numbers handy, like a list of suicide helpline numbers, of course after consulting your mental health professional. uh, so there are a few suicidal helplines like Asra and Samaritans and Sneha, One Life, that you can reach out to. So, and I think later we can also share a link of those numbers in the group. Yeah. So this is about it, and like my closing thoughts would be like. Uh, it's important to focus on the patient and help them heal and recover as well, but it's also important to focus on the caregiver, uh, because burnout could be also a strong reason. So practicing more self-care, practicing more compassion towards yourself could also be very helpful. Yeah. So do you have anything else to add, Mandira or Sina?
Yeah, my closing comment I would include that just listen and be there for the person. You know, your presence, your emotional support does mean a lot to that person, and yeah, it's quite important. Also, I would like to add that there are a lot of events coming up at Atha. We have study circles, case demonstration, Indian psychology, and therapy essentials, and a lot of new things coming up. So we would definitely be sharing the links to our Instagram page, our Facebook, and make sure you follow them. And if you're interested, you can also join one of those sessions.
Okay, so my closing statement will be that talking about suicide and your feelings, or even recognizing your warning signs, is a really brave thing to do. And I think if somebody can do it, we should help them and give our support instead of judging them. And it is very important to spread awareness about this, as it can help a lot of people more than we can imagine. So yeah, that is what we aim with this webinars of ours. And yes, I really agree that we should not compare with others, like our problems with others.
I agree with Mandira. Like everyone has a different set of problems. We can't compare who has it easy and who has it hard.
Yeah, I also second that. I think everyone is going through their own share of challenges and experiences. Uh, so, yeah, it's really not fair to compare your life with others.
Thank you so much. Yes, Asira ma'am, we completely agree that take one step at a time. It's very important to take things slow and work on every step. I would like to thank everybody for joining us today and giving us their time and energy. Hope whatever we've discussed today was helpful for you. More information about our upcoming events, please follow us on our social media handles that is in the for more information about our upcoming events, please follow us on our social media handles that is in the chat box in the description box. And we keep it updated.
Yes, please don't forget to go through the link that is pasted in the chat box. It will guide you to our Instagram, our LinkedIn, our Facebook, and YouTube. And make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all the updates and new events that Atha is coming up. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your time.
We can take any questions if anyone has any questions.
Mr. Shrikant commented, caregivers should not feel guilty if you are not perfect. Yes, exactly. The main thing is that you are providing help to someone, you are supporting someone in that time. So it should not matter to you if you are perfect in doing so or not. All it matters that at least you are being there for them, you are available to them, and you are providing the best that you can. If you have any other comments, please let us know in the chat box. Also, there's one last thing I would like to add. If you have any questions, any queries regarding the session or upcoming events, please feel free to reach out to us on our email. It's siksha@athapsychotherapy.com. We will definitely place it in the chat box. So please reach out to us and we'll guide you further and we'll clear up your queries. Again, thank you so much everyone for joining today.